I'm just going to share this. I haven't actually spoken about the cards on the Tuesday Tarot Live for quite some time. So, hey, I'm feeling called to talk about them on the live, because when I was channeling them today or doing them, there was like a bit of a theme. Like a lot of them, I was always like, wow, are people picking the same cards today or what? Because there was a bit of a theme through them, and I guess that I wanted to talk about that as well. So I'm just sharing this and I will be right with you. All right. So, did you guys pull a card number today? Can you like comment and let me know what number you've pulled? Between 1 and 6 if you haven't already. Let me know what number you're pulling today and I shall... Hey Matt. I'm going to talk about the Tuesday Tarot that's come through today. So... comment your number between 1 and 6. Which number did you pull today? And if you didn't, choose one now and comment and let me know your number between 1 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which number comes to mind? Alright, I'm just going to get it in front of me. Okay. You pick card number 5. Yep, number 3. Alright, sweet. Alright. Yay. Yeah, let me know what numbers you picked today. So 3. I'm just going to get it open in front of me. Hi, Robin. Feeling called to talk about them today for some reason. I guess I haven't for a while. And it's 6. Alright, cool. I'm going to start at number 1, obviously. That's not number 1. This is number 1. So the sacral chakra. Right, I was just getting this open. So 1 and 4. Yeah, I saw a couple people picked. There's a lot of people. You're so welcome, Cass. 100% on point. There we go. Number 4. So many people pick card number 4. Like on my Instagram, almost everyone was picking number 4. I'm like, what's going to be number 4 today? I'm like going, what's going on in here? Which is very interesting. So, alright. So the sacral chakra for number 1 really got the message as soon as I saw that card. Oh, I'm going to turn this around. Was very much like step back, you know, like the situation that you've been kind of embroiled in, or like too close in, and you kind of can't see clearly, right? So it just felt like, you know, just step back, just kind of detach from the situation, because at the sacral is where we can, you know, kind of plug into addictions and that sort of thing and fill our, you know, belly up with things that don't actually nourish us. And that's when we can kind of get enmeshed in relationships, yeah? So when we're not seeing clearly, like we're just kind of filling ourselves with, we're trying to fill a hole, basically. So that main message for the sacral chakra for card number 1 was to just kind of step back from the situation, you know, like in trying to figure it out and everything like that. Just felt like, you know, there's no need to, been getting that feeling. Yeah, just that, like, whatever opportunity or whatever the problem is, or whatever you're trying to figure out, is not going to go away. Like, you know, like it's, the opportunity is not going to go away. So just, you know, just step back, you know, do your own inner work, and it'll kind of shift in itself. When you do that. I just got goosebumps saying that. So just, you know, step back and focus on what fills you up, yeah? And the other thing, obviously, with the sacral was about food, which, you know, it's where we nourish ourselves in our belly. And that was, you know, like something needs to change in your physical diet. So, you know, and if you do have a lot of stuff going on, just change one thing, you know, like sometimes if we change our entire diet at once, it's like, you know, trying to, you know, especially if we're, you know, it's alright if we're on a tropical island in a retreat center and can like sleep and get massages and, you know, rest basically. But when we're trying to change our diet in our day-to-day life and we're staying, you know, in our busy day-to-day lives, it's a bit tricky to change your entire diet at once. So just do one thing at a time, like just cut out wheat or just cut out coffee and just do it for a month, or just pick a time limit and do it for that period of time, yeah? That was the sacral message. And the other thing is, you know, about that, like keep nurturing you, you know, step back from the situation, nurture you and feel you. Because the other thing with the sacral and the food stuff is that when we're in situations that are not, we're trying to figure out, or we're enmeshed in them, you know, we're going to be eating and trying to cover up alcohol, whatever it is, because we're enmeshed and we're trying, like, it's all kind of confusing and stuff. So when you step back and focus on you and let the situation unfold in itself, you're naturally going to fix your diet anyway, like, yeah, because you're nourishing the right source, if that makes sense. All right, so number 2. Who picked card number 2 today is the power animal card. And the message was coming through to that was that, oh, like your physical. Yeah, you go to the fridge and pantry. Yeah, and that's just to cover up the feelings, you know, because when we're enmeshed or we're trying to figure out the feelings or, you know, trying to figure it out, it's almost like it's too overwhelming. And the other thing is when we're enmeshed and we get confused and stuff like that, we don't, like, because they're not our feelings and we might be carrying feelings or something like that, we kind of, like, we're just like, and we're trying to cover them up because they're not our feelings to process, and it's hard to, you know, kind of separate from that. So whether it's food or alcohol or whatever, we're just kind of covering up the feelings basically. So yeah, so step back, lots of self-care, and keep handing the situation over, trusting that it'll work out. So, number 2, the power animal card. The message I really got with that was, you know, like, do you have a physical animal in your life that's displaying a bit weird behavior? It's kind of needing your attention right now, yeah? Like, you know, if I don't know, I was kind of getting like a actual physical animal and a physical, I guess, problem or issue or something, you know, just kind of pay attention, it felt like. And then obviously with the power animal, like, do you know what your power animal is? So a power animal is like an animal spirit guide that will come in different times of your life. So you'll have a different animal spirit guide, power animal throughout your life. If your totem animal is like your one sole, you know, totem animal for the whole entire life that you live, but power animals can change. So it's kind of like a message that if there's a particular animal that's coming to mind, or maybe just doing a meditation and just like calling in whatever animal wants to speak to you and receiving that message. And what was the other thing about that? Yeah, but I really got it's like a physical animal. So if you got number 2 and there's a physical animal in your life, just kind of pay a bit more close attention, and just check health and that sort of thing. Yeah, there's something else there. All right, so card number 3. Who picked card number 3? There's a couple. Yeah, Tracy, you got card number 3. Let's see. 6, 2, 1 and 4. Tammy says she got 1 and 3. Yeah, okay, so number 3 was crown chakra. So this is very much your claircognizance. So ideas out of the blue, ideas that just randomly, you know, drop in and you're like, oh my God, that's a cool idea, or why didn't I think of that before? These are the answers to your prayers. So things that you've been thinking about, you know, well, you've been wanting to change and you're not kind of sure. The things that you've been thinking about, they're really on point. Do not, like, I really got the message in this crown chakra card was like, it's not the time to doubt yourself, you know, like, this is the answer to your prayers. Do not doubt them one single bit, and trust that if it's not meant to be, like, if you're not meant to go that way, you won't go that way because you're not meant to go that way. So you can continue to walk forward in complete and utter trust with the crown chakra, with the ideas that you've been receiving. Yeah, really got that message, was really strong. So there's a couple of you just joining. I'm just going over the Free Tarot Tuesday cards today. I felt called to speak to them because there was a lot of, like, well, in especially, what was it, 3, 4, 5 and 6, they were almost all similar message, and I'm like, people picking the same card or what? Not sure. Like the crown chakra and trusting the ideas that you've got. The card number 4, which so many people pick card number 4. I'm like, what's card number 4? And it was you are profoundly clairvoyant. Trust what you see in your vision and mind's eye to help, as well as your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching and guidance. It just felt like the crown and this, it was like, and the other couple was like don't doubt yourself. And I guess that's why I'm coming on live stream to talk about it today. It was like, don't doubt what you're thinking, feeling, you know, like, just throw doubt out the window because it's not the time to doubt. And this You Are Profoundly Clairvoyant card was so much, you know, that plus the crown chakra. So this is, you know, obviously crown and third eye. So another message coming through about that. Oh, so stepping into the card number 4 was, you know, you are clairvoyant with your third eye, but it's also sacral chakra again there. And it just felt like, you know, like the key, right? Trusting yourself. Why wouldn't you trust yourself, right? Why wouldn't you trust yourself? Ultimately is because you don't believe that you're worthy enough to have that trust in yourself. Like there's a, like under the core of all, like why you don't trust it is because you don't believe that you're worthy of receiving. You don't believe that you're worthy of, you know, trusting what's coming in, because intuition and receiving and, you know, seeing the truth and all that sort of stuff is a receiving energy. And ultimately, if we don't feel like we're good enough to receive, then we're not going to receive anything. We won't receive love, relationships, money, finances, a career, a job, a home, a car, whatever it is. We're not going to receive it because we just don't feel worthy enough. So it kind of blocks everything, right? It's a very blocking energy. So that number 4, it's like, you know, when we're looking at, you know, obviously I'm teaching sacred, calling in your soulmate, which is a sacred manifestation, which is all about your sacral and what you're gestating in your life and what you've got in your belly. Because when we hit base chakra, then we give birth to our life purpose, or we give birth to a baby, right? And the physical, we're bringing all those ideas down and creating them in this life. Because the other thing is, like in calling in your soulmate, and when we're looking for love and looking for the truth of love, it is at its core that, you know, what we're seeing in another person exists within us. And whatever that person is reflecting back to you in your life right now is exactly what you've got going on that needs shifting and healing, especially if you're starting to get embroiled. It's like you're kind of stepping into attachment rather than love, and under the attachment is fear of being left, of not feeling loved, of not feeling good enough to be loved. So we kind of block that out and put the walls up and kind of keep it at an arm's length, right? So doing all of that in calling in your soulmate, actually just took them through that specific kind of thing with the energetics in dynamics in relationship. I did that in the module today. And because, like I said, when you look, okay, it just paused itself. All right, so when you're looking at that person in the mirror, whatever they're reflecting back to you does exist within you. And it's an energetic thing. It's tricky to, you know, kind of decipher that. It's tricky to see it when you're in it. It's tricky to see it when you're in it. And in calling in your soulmate, it's about getting really clear about what's yours, what's not, and the energetics, in being able to trust in the love and allowing that love to expand so that it can transform and hold anything, yeah? So really big one there about that. So if you've got any questions about number 4, please send me a message, because it was very self-worth based, about seeing the truth. And if you're having trouble seeing the truth about a situation or relationship, just send me a message and I can see what's happening there for you and give you an outside perspective. So with that card, this calling in your soulmate starts on the 21st of September. Highly recommend if you're resonating with it, or if you're not feeling good enough and something is going on in your life and you just can't seem to attract the relationships that you need to keep current and sustained in your life, then definitely calling in your soulmate would definitely be for you. So I'll post the link in the comments on this live stream as well for that. Funny, it's an exercise I'm working through at the moment. What's that in particular? About stepping back or seeing the love? What exactly? What is that? I'm happy. I want to share. I want you to share more. All right. So card number 5 was the mediumship card. And that was very interesting as well. So it's kind of like the crown chakra, seeing the truth, and then the mediumship, and then you were a powerful light worker was the number 6. So I'm like, it just felt like such a stream. And I guess I wanted to talk about too that, you know, like we've just come out of that eclipse, so dark, so many people are still feeling lost, still feeling kind of like, what the fuck's the point? They're still feeling just in a mess. They're just going, what is going on? Oh, they're looking in the mirror. Yeah, that's exactly that message I got. And, you know, it's about what we're seeing out there in relationship is what we're seeing in here. And it's like, it starts with looking in the mirror and getting clear on that relationship, right? So yeah, you're already doing it, Robin. That's awesome. Yeah, so the mediumship and the powerful light worker and the trusting yourself, and, you know, it's like the eclipse, and we're, you know, kind of halfway through. It's full moon next Wednesday, and we're kind of, you know, as we go from a new moon to a full moon, or a dark moon to a full moon, it's like, you know, new ideas, new thoughts, new seeds, you know, shedding, and kind of, you know, whatever we're kind of working towards or building on comes to light and fruition at the full moon. So can kind of already feel the shift in energy through some people as well, but there's still a lot of people still stuck in the darkness. So with these cards that I felt called to come on and talk about today, it feels like, you know, there's a part of you that's starting to awaken, you know, like, and when we are lost or, you know, shut down in the crown, we can feel depressed, we can feel lost because there's no light getting in. So, you know, we want to open up our spiritual organs to let the light into our body, to feed the spiritual organs, which feed our soul, which feed our intuition, which feed our nervous system, which, you know, communicates from our soul to our physical body and making that work properly. So when we open up and let the light in, it's like, you know, it just feels like from the eclipse and all that shit that people got kind of thrown into or thrown through or whatever the fuck it was, thrown in the washing machine and fucking washed and wrung out and hung to dry and just gone, what the fuck just happened? It's like all these people are starting to come, you know, awaken basically. And if you felt called to, you know, doing any of these Tuesday Tarot today, it just feels like, you know, you are reading and following, you know, my work and, you know, resonate with me because you are a light worker of some form, whether you choose the light worker name, the healer name, a helper, I don't fucking care what you call yourself, but there's a reason that you're called to watching and following my stuff because there's something inside of you that needs to come out. And it just feels like, you know, with this period of time, it's like awakening. It's like you're getting more and more and more and more and more in alignment. You know, you're listening more to your intuition. You're, you know, trusting it more. You're starting to step onto that. And that's why with these cards, it's like, don't doubt what you've been getting because that shit's real. Okay. And this mediumship card, if you've had somebody pass away recently, this is your sign that they've been trying to communicate with you. Because whilst as a light worker and an intuitive, you really get a sense of, you know, when spirits are around and, you know, you kind of tune into that more and more. I'm also hearing the message about fearing, so don't fear it. I'll post a link for the comments in the comments for the Clearing Energy Blueprint. If you want a real quick video on, you know, how to and what to do with mediumship, or if you sense spirits in the room or anything like that, then nothing to be scared of. A lot of people do shut down their, you know, spiritual senses and psychic awareness, and that's what causes depression because you shut down to it all, right? So when we open, we sense all these things and we kind of freak out and we're like, ah, fuck. And then, you know, but we need to be open to have, you know, a healthy functioning body, mind, spirit, you know, to be on alignment and trust our intuition and move forward on our life purpose. So if you've had a deceased loved one that's crossed over recently, they are trying to get in contact with you. And if you'd like a personalized mediumship reading, I'm very good at mediumship. I'm very good at readings, but I'm very good at specifically at mediumship as well. So if you'd like to specifically talk to whoever's passed over, because relationships don't end when somebody dies, okay? It's about, you know, really just, you know, like the soul doesn't die. And, you know, that's why when we shut down our psychic senses or our, you know, organs and don't let that in, and the depression and all that sinks in, it's like, you know, not only are we shutting down, you know, that because our soul is what feeds our physical body. So when a person dies, it's just the soul that leaves the body. So ultimately we can still connect with the soul of that person because it's just their physical body that is left. Yes, there's still human emotions and grieving, and that's all very real and valid. But if you've been getting signs from a deceased loved one, please take notice, because I'm really getting a strong message with this card today that yes, you are a sensitive light worker and can communicate, but you've also been receiving signs that you've been ignoring and they're trying to contact you. So please listen, okay? So that's the card number 5. And the card number 6, which was definitely really in alignment with that, you know, with all those cards, like I just said, is you are a powerful light worker. And, you know, as I said, with all these cards, it's kind of like trust yourself, you know, you're awakening, you know, you're on path. You know, if you read, what is it, number 3, 4, 5, 6, it's just kind of like, it's just all very similar message. It was like, trust yourself, don't doubt yourself. You've got an important purpose, you're here for a reason, and you are awakening. So if you're in the chaos, the turmoil, the darkness, and just going, what the fuck is going on? When is this going to shift? You are in a cocoon. You're about to burst out like a butterfly. Oh, that was the message in the first card too. The sacral, I'm like, was there a message about flowers? Because all the flowers are really jumping out of me. So maybe, you know, something to do with flowers, or work with flower essences, or buy somebody flowers, or someone gave flowers to you. Or you're blooming like a flower and you're just about to come out of your cocoon and shine your light nice and bright. So if you know, are scared of any of that, or, you know, not sure about any of that, I will post a link to the comments, a link in the comments for the Clearing Energy Blueprint, because it basically goes over what to do when you open your psychic senses or your intuition, or you start trusting yourself, and then all this shit happens, you're like, fucking freak out, right? So I'll post the link to that as well in the comments. But just keep trusting yourself. It just felt like the overlying message in the cards today, and I felt really cool to jump on and just say, hey, just fucking trust yourself, right? Because doubt is the only thing that will cause confusion, and doubt only comes in. Doubt will always come in. It's kind of like expect it, like make a decision and then expect it to come in, right? Because that's what happens. But it's like when doubt shows up, know that you just got to push through it and you'll be fine. Like, you know, like you're on the right path if doubt comes up, basically. Because if you're not on the right path, you will be stopped, right? Because you're meant to go that way, not that way, and the universe will make sure that happens. So keep trusting and keep walking forward in that faith that you are 100% on the right path, and nothing will stop you from being on the right path except your own doubt, which will cause you to stay stuck in the confusion and not making a decision, which is also making a decision to not make a decision. So allow yourself that time and space to just trust, move forward, expect the doubt to come up, and keep moving forward anyway, okay? So, if you didn't pull a card, go and check that out, or otherwise there's a few other people that just joined late. You can go and rewatch this live stream. I just felt like talking about the Tuesday Tarot today. So, by the way, there's only 2 more days left to get your half-price psychic tarot reading, so you want to get in on that and book that if you haven't already. That's the audio reading with the big decks of cards that I do. It's not just one card, it's not just one deck, it's lots of cards there. Okay, Robert says, thanks, makes sense. I had doubts I wasn't going down the right path, choosing to work for myself, but in the last week or so things have been picking up, going really well. Yay, that's awesome. That's what I want to hear. And definitely, you know, perfect coming, you know, what is it? Perfect timing for you, you know, and that's what I was feeling too, you know, like there's been a lot of doubts for a lot of light workers, myself included, but things have been kind of really moving since the eclipse, and that's what I was kind of getting about that message with, you know, like the eclipse was just kind of like all this shit, and it's almost like, you know, like we went through the last, like the end of the last 9-year cycle at the end of last year, and this was the beginning of a new cycle, so we're like, yeah, new beginnings, and everyone's just like, fuck, what the fuck's going on? And apparently it'll be like this for another 2 years, and don't freak out when you hear that. But if you're continually working on life purpose, career, working for yourself, all that sort of thing, and you feel it in your heart is where you need to go, just don't give up, because it's like these kind of little snippets of time, right now after the eclipse, it's like we've cleared out so much shit, so many patterns going on, plus the fact of Mercury is still retrograde at the moment too, so a lot of old relationships coming up, old patterns coming up, people from your past sticking their head in. It's very kind of common in Mercury retrograde, so you know, just kind of take them as signs that you're on the right path and continue moving forward, because if it's in your heart, there's no way that it's wrong. So keep trusting yourself, and yeah, flick those doubts out of the window. So only 2 more days to get your half-price psychic tarot reading audio recorded by me, and I'll post the link in the comments for that too. So have a beautiful evening. If you think somebody can benefit from this live stream, please share it. And I love hearing your comments. Even if you're watching the replay, please comment below and I shall come back and answer them. Lots of love to you. Keep it really real. Namaste.